Welcome to the finals of the Charlotte Legacy League Top 8, where we have Goblins versus Fivecast. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Welcome to Game 1. Corey is on the play as he's the top seed. Michael kept 5, and Corey has kept 7. So we've seen both of these decks in action so far, and I've been quite impressed with both of them, with Michael beating Boris Initiative to get here to the finals, and Corey beating not only Sneak and Show, but he also beat a mono black deck played by O and Soul. So he's had a pretty good day so far, both of these players, and he has a pretty lightning fast turn 1 with a Sticker Goblin into a Rabble Master. Let's see if Mike can make up some ground here. He does play the Emery on turn 1, which is pretty good, but it doesn't look like he hits that many great artifacts, and he knocks a Saga into the graveyard. It looks like an Opal, a Thought Monitor, yeah, and Mox Opal, Saga, and a Seed the Synod off of that Emery. So Mike can play the Opal next turn. If he has any more artifacts or draws any more artifacts, he can definitely potentially get that what the fuck is that thing called? It's I just said what it is. It's a Thought Monitor. So yeah, that's interesting. Corey's got a Battlecry Goblin in his hand. Only an Emery in play. So something that we have seen from this Goblin deck is just outright like punishing damage that it can do very quickly from as fast as turn 2. So we'll see. We've got a Scarp Prospector here with no mana floating at the moment, and we could see Battlecry Goblin come out. All right, so City of Traders, sack that for a Battlecry Goblin, which is going to get Force of Will right away. It looks like a Metallic Rebuke was pitched for that Force of Will. Battlecry Goblin, as we've seen, is pretty strong. So we've got 2 damage there, plus 5 from the Rabble Master, and 1 more from that. So pretty good, 1 more from the token. So 5, 6, 7. Well, no, we're going to block the token. So 7 damage total coming across, and another Lotus Petal. And not much to do in the graveyard here. He only has 3 mana, and Thought Knot Seer costs 7. If you count that down, that's 1, 2, 3. So that makes it cost 4. And not enough mana. Now he'd have enough mana next turn, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Corey may just be able to pull a kill out here. So combat attack. So that's going to be 4 plus that's 6, 7, 8. 9, 10 damage, putting Michael down to 2 or 3. I thought it'd be more than that, but okay. And then 1 more draw. He does have enough to play the Thought Knot Seer if he taps the Emery, but I don't think that's going to be enough to actually stifle the board state that Corey has here. Nope, we're going to go to game number 2. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. Number 2, looks like Mike kept a pretty good grip, and Corey kept 6, it looks like, as well. So a really fast start for the artifact deck here. Emery coming out early. See if he finds a good artifact. Oh, man, that Saga. He does have a Thought Monitor in the graveyard, and he does have 3 artifacts in play. So still not quite enough, only 4 mana there, and it's going to cost, or 4... It's going to cost 3. He may be able to get that Thought Monitor out next turn. If he draws an artifact, it'll be in pretty good shape. So see him lead off on a Chrome Mox, Simian Spirit Guide, into a Magus. That's going to be pretty tough there. Taking the... there's a Saga out of play. He does rip the basic island. I think he can play the Thought Knot... Or not, geez, I keep wanting to call it a Thought Knot Seer. Thought Monitor. 3 artifacts. That makes it 4 mana. No, not enough. And then he's going to play another Emery just so he can put more cards into the graveyard and maybe build something from there. He does find a Mishra's Bauble, Kappa Cannoneer, and a Lotus Petal. So he probably puts that Bauble into play, I'd imagine. or the Lotus Petal. That does get him a little closer to the Kappa Cannoneer next turn. That Magus of the Moon is definitely not causing too much disruption at the moment. Named Goblin for 4, hitting Ringleader, Chrome Mox, Cavernous Souls, double Broadside Bombardier. So Corey accidentally flips over a card here, but we're going to go ahead and shuffle the deck and then put the 2 cards underneath it that belong there. He does pick up 2 Broadside Bombardiers and is able to attack for 4 on this turn. So it's not enough to do Kappa Cannoneer either, I don't believe. But I think he can at least do Thought Monitor. Yes. So he can do a Thought Monitor by sacking the Lotus Petal and draw 2 cards, see if he can pick up any more artifacts out of that. Looks like he found a Saga, which isn't great. Ancient Tomb is a mountain. And he at least has a blocker for next turn. But with those Broadside Bombardiers, he's going to be able to just throw whatever he wants at that Thought Monitor before Mike can even block. So usually you want to throw that Ringleader. It's not quite that good. So see if he has a Force of Will for this first Broadside Bombardier. So Broadside Bombardier and attack trigger. Oh, he's going to throw the Mox. Okay, so he's got All right, so was that 8 total damage? So 8 damage, and not looking great here for Mike. He does have another land that he could play. Well, he has the extra land now, so he could still play that Thought Monitor this turn, potentially. So 1, 2, 3. That lowers it down to 4 mana still. Nope, he can't, unfortunately. He can only play the Petal or the... But if he does that, he doesn't have any blockers. He'll take 8. Alright, so Patchwork Automaton. Alright, so he can at least block a Broadside Bombardier. It looks like he's probably going to do the Bobble instead, as I've already shown that up on the board. Originally, I thought he was going to do the Lotus Petal. So he's got 1 blocker for... Let's see, he can just attack. I think he has another Broadside Bombardier in his hand too. So he can just attack with everything. Broadside Bombardier does have Menace as well. So whatever he blocks, he can just throw it at Mike. Man, that card is so good. Oh, another Ringleader, and we got a Metallic Rebuke on that. So probably good that he chose to do that instead. Attacks for 8. Whatever he chooses to block, because he can't block the Bombardier, he can just sack it and throw it at Mike and deal, I believe, 2 damage plus the CMC. Mike's packs it up. A huge thank you to the Patreon supporters who are helping the league and YouTube channel. If you would like to become a supporter, please click on the link in the show notes. Welcome back to Game 3. Both players have been able to sideboard now that we are in Game 3. For Corey, he can bring in Goblin Trashmaster, Fury, 2 Meltdowns. Chalice of the Void, probably not that great in the scheme of things. Maybe later on in the Void, but I think just sticking to the game plan that he has is probably the right play. It's going to lead off with a Battlecry Goblin. Mike already had a lightning fast start as well. He's going to be able to make a construct with that Ancient Tomb he just played. For Mike, he can bring in 2 Blue Elemental Blasts. Torpor Orb would probably be pretty good here, and maybe Dismembers. But maybe we need to get Mike some new sleeves. He seems to be cleaning them off every time he plays a new card. I'll have to maybe get him some Windex or something like that to do that. But now that both players have sideboarded and we see a Rabble Master coming from Corey, we'll see if Mike's going to be able to slow him down. He does seem like he's in a pretty good shape at the moment, being able to make constructs, go get a Shadow Spear probably off of this Urza Saga, and be able to attack and actually put some life total up and some life total down on Corey's side. He does go get the Shadow Spear. Looks like he's also going to play a Mox Opal as well, and he'll be able to activate and put the Shadow Spear on. I'm not quite sure how he did. Oh, he double tapped he tapped 1 Opal and then played the other Opal and then equipped it that way. That makes sense. Attacks for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage, and he goes up 7, and Corey goes down 7. quite a bit of difference there in how much the life total swing can be, but we could see a pretty explosive hand from Corey here as well with that Battlecry Goblin. So he pumps it up one time here, and that's going to allow, in combat he pumps it, so everything gets +1/+0, I believe. Let's double check that. So Battlecry Goblin, yes, they get +1/+0 and gain haste. So he attacks, that's going to be 6 power, so the other Goblin's going to come out. So now he has those Goblins out. Mike's just adding it up here. And with one of those Goblins has +1/+0 right now, and one is just a 1/1 at the moment. Or no, he's activated twice, so he's got his Goblin Rabble Master has 4 damage, or 4 power. One of the tokens has 3 power. One of the other tokens has 2 power. The Goblin Rabble Master has 1, 2, 3. Rabble Masters are whenever a Goblin attacks, each until end of turn for each other Goblin. So he gets +3 from that, and then +2 from the pumps. So it's a 5, 6, 7, 2 at the moment. So we've got 3 +7 +2 +3. Yeah. And that has 1 on there. And then he has double Spirit Guide again. So now we've got +3 on 3 of those, and +2 on 1 of those, which equals a 19 damage total. That is 19 damage in 1 attack step with 2 Goblins in play. That is absolutely disgusting. That is so good. Man, Battlecry Goblin and the Broadside Bombardier just add so much to this Goblins deck now. It's able to just 2 Goblins put 19 damage on turn 3. That's crazy. But he doesn't have anything else, and it looks like Mike's just going to be able to crack back and kill him, which is exactly what he does, and we'll see you in game number 4. Welcome back to game number 4, and Corey's going to be on the play this time, and we just saw a turn 3 attack for 19 damage from Corey's side. Not quite enough because of the Shadow Speared up a construct, but it's pretty good. So we'll see a Goblin Ringleader off of the Sticker Goblin, and he hits a jackpot there with a Goblin War Chief, a Rabble Master, a Broadside Bombardier, and a Muxus, and he'll get to attack for 2 right away with that Ringleader. So that is quite a hit there, as we've seen Corey throughout this tournament kind of miss on those Ringleader hits by either hitting fast mana or just no Goblins in general. So we'll see if Mike is going to be able to do something with this. Turn 1 Sticker Goblin is really good, especially when you're playing a Ringleader. Now, hopefully, he does have some more mana to make up for that. But it looks like Mike's on a tear on his own here with a Patchwork Automaton, playing multiple artifacts out. Not quite sure why I do know why. He used the Saga and the Petal to cast the Automaton. So that's why he did that. 2 mana into perhaps a Battlecry Goblin, yes. Can't pump it up, and the Automaton is a little too big for Corey to lose any creatures to. Corey just needs to wait a turn and play that War Chief he has, and then those Goblins will out-muscle the Automaton that Mike has. But Mike is able to make a construct and clean his sleeves off at the same time, so that if he plays the War Chief here, he will get a chance. Let's see, that's 3, 6, 9 damage, and Corey would have, or I'm sorry, Mike would have a 3/3 and then a 4/4 construct. He could theoretically block the Battlecry Goblin with the Patchwork and if he plays let's see what he plays here. Corey just taking a minute to decide what he wants to do. Wonder if Mike maybe has a Force of Will, because it does look like he does have a Sticker Goblin as well in his hand. He does. He's going to play the Sticker Goblin, making it uncounterable. He didn't have enough mana to make it uncounterable, or cast it and then cast the War Chief as uncounterable. but he's got a Broadside Bombardier too, man. It's pretty tough. Broadside Bombardier can attack through, but it can't kill the Patchwork. So, yeah, he's going to play the Goblin Chieftain here. Goblin Chieftain, so now he has 3, 6, 9, 12, 14 damage coming over at Mike. And he attacks with the Battlecry Goblin as well. That'll also trigger and make a Goblin token, which will also be a 2/2. So we've got a Battlecry Goblin, Chieftain. I think you have to block the Battlecry Goblin here. Otherwise, next turn, it just gets way out of hand. And I think you need to block the Chieftain. Now, the downside of that is Mike will lose both of his creatures, because while the construct is a 4/4 right now, when the automaton would die, it would also die because it would be taking 3 damage as well. So it looks like Mike's gonna block. He's gonna take out the War Chief with the construct. He's gonna take out the token with the automaton, and maybe he's thinking he can outmuscle this thing with a spear. So he's gonna take 2 here and go to 2. Just that Battlecry Goblin can produce so much more damage. So Thoughtcast, we do have a Shadow Spear in play. Force of Will doesn't do anything against the... Looks like he may have just drawn that Force of Will. It doesn't do anything against the Cavern. I got an Equip on a Construct, which is now a 7/7. He can attack for 9. The Crackback would be, with a Pump, more than 9. But he could block. I think you attack here, take the 7 life. You have 2 blockers up. He would... That's a tough call. All right, no attacks. So we know that Corey has a Broadside Bombardier there. And I don't think there's any way through this, because he can just attack and throw whatever. And Mike packs it up. Corey is our winner for 2023. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. If you've been enjoying our content, please be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below.